Is called the wishing tree, and this is a story that happens in China, and it's around the Lunar New Year, which actually happens a little bit later, about a month, 3 weeks to a month from now. But we're talking about the New Year here today, and so I thought I would share this story with you. So I'm going to read the words, and then I will show you the pictures. An enormous banyan tree with thick, leafy branches grew in the center of a village, near an ancient temple in a green valley with a gurgling stream. The tree had been there for as long as Ming's grandmother could remember, and certainly much longer than that. Winter, spring, summer, and fall, it was covered with thousands of wishes. Each wish was written on brightly colored paper, tied with string, and weighted on a large mandarin orange. People came from near and far to toss their requests and desires into its sturdy branches. Here's the picture.
Oh, I see it. Right in the.
I don't think it's a good tree anymore.
When Ming was 5 years old, grandmother took him to make his first wish. It was Lunar New Year, and the tree's enormous canopy of leaves glistened with red and gold paper. Ming was spellbound by the sight. The tree was generous with its magic, grandmother explained. Villagers say that long ago it helped a boy make incredible improvements in his studies. They also say it led to a rich stranger to the village who paid for the temple's construction. Ming was filled with excitement and couldn't wait to make a wish. There were many vendors selling paper and string, but grandmother led him to a cheerful moon-faced woman whom she knew well. "This is my grandson," she said. "He's coming to make his first wish." Smiling, the vendor pulled out a crisp bundle of paper and handed it to Ming. "Wish carefully," grandmother advised, "but remember that even wishing trees have their limitations." After Ming finished writing, grandmother showed him how to roll up the wish like a scroll and hurl it skyward into the tree's outstretched arms. The first time, Ming didn't throw his bundle hard enough and it fell back down to earth with a heavy thud. He tried 5 more times before he was successful. After all, it was a huge tree, and he was just a small boy. Ming's wish was to be tall and strong like his older brother. All year long, he thought about the wish and anxiously waited to see if it would be granted. Sure enough, by the following year, he had grown a foot taller and was strong enough to help move the heavy chairs in his parents' restaurant. Oh, his wish came true.
They must be throwing it by the oranges to help it move better.
That's right. Convinced of the tree's magic, the next year, Ming wished for something exciting to happen in the village. And a few months later, a movie crew came to make a kung fu film. The movie starred several famous actors, and Ming and his friends were allowed to watch them perform. Even better, they got to collect the actors' autographs. That was a pretty exciting wish. As the years passed, Ming came to depend on the tree. It was like a member of his family who always helped him out. One year, Ming faced a difficult problem. A boy from another village moved to his school and began bullying him. Although Ming tried to stay away, the bully followed him home and demanded money and candy. Ming's wish that year was to be rid of the bully forever. To his surprise, his father bought a new restaurant in the city, and a few months later, his whole family moved away from the village. That was maybe a different solution than he was wishing for. Oh, I forgot to show the picture. Although their new home was far away from the wishing tree, Ming and grandmother still went to visit each year. They would board a bus early in the morning and carry a picnic lunch to eat under the tree's wide, leafy branches. All afternoon, they would watch other wish-makers toss the requests skyward and would stay until the last ray of light faded. When Ming was 9, grandmother became very sick, and she could no longer get out of bed. Ming visited the wishing tree alone that year and asked it to cure grandmother's illness. He wrote his request on the shiniest red paper he could find, and he used the most polite and sincere language he knew. When he threw the wish into the air, it immediately caught hold on a strong, thick branch where the wind could not blow it off. Ming thought this was a good sign and went home with a smile on his face. But this time, the magic didn't work. Grandmother died soon afterwards, and Ming felt sad and bitter. He missed grandmother's gentle laugh and the stories she shared with him. He also felt betrayed by the tree. He had visited it so many times. How could it have let him down? Ming said he would never return to the wishing tree again. I had a reminder. Several years passed, and Ming forced the tree out of his mind. Then one Lunar New Year, an old school friend named Hong invited him back to the village for a class reunion. Ming's thoughts flooded with sad memories, but still, his friends wanted him to join them, so he agreed to go. As soon as Ming got off the bus, he realized how much he missed the peaceful green valley where he had grown up. On the way to Hong's house, he stopped by the ancient temple and leapt across the gurgling stream. After a delicious lunch with his friends, the boys walked over to the wishing tree. It was more beautiful than Ming had remembered it, and while the other boys made wishes, Ming and Hong took a seat and chatted. He told Hong how much he missed his grandmother and how they used to make wishes together, and a tear slipped down Ming's fake cheek. "What did she wish for the last time you were here?" asked Hong. "Grandmother always wished for the same thing," Ming said, "for my happiness." "And are you happy?"
Of course we are.
Ming thought about the question for a long time. He liked his new school, he liked taking Kung Fu lessons, and was one of the best in class. In fact, he had just gotten a trophy at a local competition. Ming realized that the wishing tree had granted his grandmother's wish. Suddenly, his anger left, and he forgave the tree, the way one forgives a good friend after an argument. Ming ran over to a familiar vendor who was just packing up her papers for the night. Please sell me a piece of paper," he begged. "I won't have another chance to make a wish until next year." At first, the vendor said no, but then she recognized Ming. She smiled and unpacked a nearby box and took out her last piece of wrinkled red wishing paper. Ming scribbled down his message as quickly as he could and tossed it high into the branches. He concentrated hard and mumbled several words as he threw. He was taller now, and his wish lodged snugly in a large branch. "What did you wish for?" asked Hong. "Not for a single thing," Ming replied. Hong looked puzzled. He was sure he had seen Ming write something down.
You must have run. I want nothing.
In all the years I've come to the tree, I've never shown my appreciation. This time, I didn't ask for anything. This time I said, thank you instead.